Coming up next on EMC News 3, are you planning to go home for the holidays? The weather may affect your plans.
An American pastor is being held captive in Iran.
And Murfreesboro reality stars have a little Q&A with their fans.
Live from Studio 2 in the College of Mass Communications from the campus of Middle Tennessee State University, this is the News 3 Report.
Good afternoon, I'm Parrish Hodges.
And I'm Rebecca Gatewood. Welcome to EMC News 3. Our big story today, the weather. Just about everyone on campus is trying to make it home for Thanksgiving, but will the weather cooperate? News 3's Janae Francine has the very latest on the weather today.
That's right, Rebecca. The winter mix is headed our way, and the main concern for students is how exactly will they get home for the Thanksgiving holiday? Well, we'll get to that in a minute, but here's a look on exactly why it's coming down. It's coming from the north, so let's take a look at that. So, as you can see, the snow is coming down up north and it's starting to close the roadways. People are already headed to grocery stores to stock up on food and prepare for the weekend, but hopefully it doesn't alter their Thanksgiving plans too much. Now, this winter mix is headed down south, and it's expected to be here by 3 p.m. And we got a little bit of it yesterday, so here's a look on exactly what we expected here in Murfreesboro yesterday. So, as I stated earlier, the snow came down a little bit yesterday, but there was a mixture of sleet. Now, this is affecting roadways and ice is accumulating. As of now, the temperatures are continuing to drop, but there isn't going to be too much of an increase in it anytime soon. So, as I stated earlier, students are concerned on campus about getting home, and I actually have a student with me here, Mr. Clint Halford, who wants to express his concern of how he's going to get home. So, Clint, what are you going to do?
Thanksgiving for my family is up north of Nashville, and I'm just not sure the way the weather is right now. If this ice keeps going, if we actually have some snow, it could be dangerous for me to drive up there maybe.
So what are you going to do if roadways are closed? Are you going to stay here in Murfreesboro?
Most likely, I think that's what's going to happen. And it'll be a shame because, I'd love to be with my family for Thanksgiving. But if that's what happens, so be it.
Okay. Thanks for that, Clint. I hope everything works out. Well, besides the roadways, the airlines are expecting, to have closures as well. And the FAA has said that they're in constant contact with them to let them know of these closures. So let's just take a look at what exactly is happening on the airlines. So just be prepared for your flight to be delayed or even canceled. Worst case scenario, they may even send you to another airline. See, take a look at American Airlines right here. They've already canceled 850 flights this Thanksgiving, and they say they're pretty sure that more will be canceled. So guys, just be prepared for the worst. We're hoping that we won't get as much snow as up north, but we'll keep you prepared and we'll keep you up to date. So back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Janae. Janae will be back several times during this newscast to keep us updated on the weather. Students' ability to travel home depends on the weather around the rest of the country, and it's getting pretty bad. CNN's Christy Paul reports.
The deadly winter storm stretches from Southern California to Texas, and the system may create Thanksgiving week travel problems all the way to the Atlantic.
It's crazy. It's super crazy. I hope it's going to be gone soon.
Rain is expected to stretch from Texas to Georgia and the Carolinas Monday night, including sleet and snow. By Tuesday, the rain will reach the mid-Atlantic states and parts of the Northeast. Forecasters are waiting to see if the impacts are going to be severe or just annoying. Already, snow is making its way across Texas and New Mexico, and a lot of people are waking up this morning to snow and ice-covered roads and bridges.
It feels like the wind is going to pull you over, It just feels like it's going to push you into the next lane.
In Ohio, swirling clouds of snow and temperatures in the 20s. Check out this Ohio State-Indiana football game in Columbus. Officials had to scrub the snow off the goal line. This weather system started on the West Coast. Strong winds in the San Francisco Bay Area downed trees and power lines.
I heard a big crack and the house started banging and things started kind of falling, and I thought it was a huge earthquake.
And flooding hit Phoenix, Arizona with almost 2 inches of rain. In the days ahead, more than 40 million Americans are expected to travel 50 miles or more from home during the Thanksgiving holiday weekend. What's waiting out there? More wind, sleet, snow, and rain.
Thanks, Christy.
You may think you know all the clubs Middle Tennessee State University has to offer. Think again. Sunday I learned about one of the newest clubs to come to campus. Take a look. Rashad Bivens is president of Club Destiny, a new religious group at MTSU.
Christian base, that is number one. Number two, we want to affect the campus with the love of Jesus. And three, we want college kids to be able to go back to church, but not go in the traditional format. We want you to come as you are.
Sunday evening, the club had their kickoff event with a viewing party of the TV show Thicker Than Water.
This is our pre-launch tonight, but January is our big launch.
Even some faculty members are fans of both the club and the TV show. Dr. Chappelle explained to me more about the family in Thicker Than Water.
Family, how to, raise children in a blended environment and how to raise them to be excellent.
Some students brought their family to the viewing party.
Brought my mom, and she hasn't watched it either, so I think this will be a good experience for her.
It's 8 p.m. now at the viewing party. Showtime. Everyone's excited to see what the Tangards have in store tonight. Club Destiny brought in their first event with food, music, and fun. President Rashad Bivens is excited about this new venture.
Come as you are. Come relax, come free, because we're going to talk about life's problems. We're not going to talk about what mom and dad used to do. We want to talk about what's facing you now.
The TV show and the club are both new and both starting off with a bang. Any students interested in joining Club Destiny can email Bivens at reb3d@mtmail.mtsu.edu or check out the club's page on the MTSU website.
Tempers boiled over the weekend, ending in tragedy for a young college student. A Connecticut college student is accused of stabbing his roommate during an argument. Keetrick Wilder is charged with first-degree assault and tampering with physical evidence. Authorities say he attacked his roommate in a dorm room early Saturday. The victim, who has not been identified, is listed in serious condition with stab wounds to the abdomen, leg, and chest. Police are looking into what sparked the argument.
Tensions between the U.S. and Iran have become a personal battle for a family living in Idaho.
This Thanksgiving will mark more than 18 months since Pastor Saeed Abedini has seen his family. Back on June 22, 2012, his wife and children dropped him off at the airport in Boise, Idaho, where they live. The Christian pastor was headed back to Iran to help start an orphanage. But instead, his family says he was arrested and imprisoned. Abedini was born in Iran and converted from Islam to Christianity, then later moved to the United States and became a citizen. In January, Abedini was sentenced to 8 years in prison, convicted of threatening Iran's national security for his involvement in Christian house gatherings. So says his wife.
Are you concerned that he will not survive his prison sentence?
Yes, very much. Every day is a battle, a survival battle, and that's why we've been fighting to get him out as soon as possible.
We ask that you would use this for your glory, Lord.
While his family has kept vigil, it's lawyers at the American Center for Law and Justice and U.S. lawmakers who have fought for his freedom.
It's unacceptable for an American to be thrown in prison just for preaching his Christian faith.
Statements calling for his release have come from Secretary of State John Kerry. And the White House says President Obama even took up the case in a phone call with the Iranian President Hassan Rouhani earlier this fall. But instead of progress, Abedini's plight seems to be getting worse. Earlier this month, the family learned Abedini has been transferred to a notorious prison where they fear for his safety. And this weekend's short-term deal with Iran came and went with no provisions for Pastor Abedini's release.
We've raised two issues with the Iranians in our discussions with them. One is the nuclear program. The other is Americans who are detained in Iran. President Obama raised it with President Rouhani when they spoke. We've raised it at a working level on the margins of the P5+1 talks. That includes this pastor.
Ben Rhodes, the Deputy National Security Advisor at the White House, told CNN today negotiations for Abedini and other detained Americans in Iran were ongoing.
The Iranians make assertions based on their own legal system. We reject those assertions that these individuals have a legal basis for being detained. It shows one thing, which is that we're trying to resolve the nuclear issue, which is of great concern to us. But even as we're doing that, it doesn't lessen our concern about other activities of the Iranian government.
John Berman, CNN, New York.
The United States will continue to do all it can to make sure Pastor Abedini is set free.
When we come back, winter storms may delay your Turkey Day travels.
and how the morning after pill's effectiveness may vary depending on your weight. All that and more after the break.
Chilling new details have been released in the slaying of a Massachusetts high school teacher. Alexandra Field has the story.
The details are disturbing. According to a previously sealed search warrant affidavit, surveillance video shows Colleen Ritzer's 14-year-old student Philip Chisholm following Ritzer into the bathroom, donning gloves and a sweatshirt with the hood up over his head. He's seen walking in and out of the bathroom several times. Almost 30 minutes later, he's seen leaving the same bathroom wearing a black face mask and pushing a recycling bin. Ritzer's body was later found in the woods behind the school next to a handwritten note that read, "I hate you all," according to the documents. Danvers police say Ritzer had been raped with an object. According to the affidavit, when Chisholm was picked up, he was found with a blood-stained box cutter, a pair of Ritzer's underwear, and credit cards in his backpack. The documents say a student reported Chisholm getting visibly upset the day before during a conversation in which Ritzer started talking about Tennessee, a place Chisholm used to live with his parents before they split. Documents also say it was a stressful divorce. No motive is mentioned. In a statement, Ritzer's family says, "We are devastated and heartbroken by the details of the horrific circumstances surrounding the death of our beautiful daughter and sister, Colleen." Chisholm is charged with murder. He'll be tried as an adult for that charge. Chisholm's attorney could not be reached for comment. He also faces additional charges as a youth offender for aggravated rape and armed robbery. His next court appearance is December 4th for an arraignment. Alexandra Field, CNN, New York.
Thanks, Alexandra.
According to The Hollywood Reporter, Katie Couric may be looking to leave ABC News for internet giant Yahoo. The entertainment site reported that Couric is negotiating an exit package with ABC. The New York Times reports any new role Couric takes on with the Yahoo may not interfere with her current ABC show, Katie, only with her role as a special correspondent with ABC News. Couric joined ABC 2 years ago. CNN reached out to Couric's team for a comment Friday, but has not yet received a response.
A trend that has been growing for new moms leaving the hospital isn't just taking your baby home, but the placenta as well. Many cultures consider it spiritual and medicinal to ingest your placenta after birth. Ivy Parrish tried it herself after the birth of her third child. She said she did it for the postpartum health benefits, increased energy, and breast milk production. She's so pleased with the results that now she dehydrates placenta and grinds it into capsules for other new moms.
At first I thought that it was kind of weird that I was, cutting up somebody else's placenta because it came from a person. There are hormones, there's vitamins like iron.
In Europe, a well-known morning after pill is ineffective for some women over a certain weight. This could be the case for morning after pills in the U.S. as well. Scientists have learned that these emergency contraceptives begin to lose their effectiveness when taken by women over 165 pounds. The FDA has begun an investigation of this problem. When we cover a police officer that's arrested for rape.
And we find out how some shoppers are preparing for Black Friday. Stay tuned.
And make sure you stay tuned to find out how the Thanksgiving weather forecast will be.
I don't know about you, Paris, but I woke up freezing this morning.
Girl, who are you telling? Not only is it cold, it's raining.
It's freezing. I have to drive home this afternoon, so I'm not sure what to do. Janae Francine is in the studio to let us know more.
That's right, ladies. You couldn't have said it any better. We woke up to a rainy start, but let's look at our current conditions right now. Here's a picture from this morning. As you can see, it was dark, it was wet, it was a little gloomy. It's 38 degrees right now with winds coming from the north at 12 miles per hour with 100% of humidity. Now, right now, as I said, it's 38 in Murfreesboro, 32 up in Portland, 36 in Manchester, and 38 in Chattanooga. So it's pretty much 30s all across the board. It's going to be a cold day for all of us in Tennessee. Now, for this wintry mix, as I said earlier in the newscast, it's coming from up north and it's moving down south. So by tomorrow, you can pretty much expect ice accumulation as well as maybe snow. They haven't said how much, inches we may get, but it is expected to come and hit the Murfreesboro area. 14 deaths have actually already been reported due to this wintry mix, and we're hoping that we won't get any of those in the south. Well, tonight's lows. So it will be 26 degrees with rain and snow accumulation, as I said, 70% chance of precipitation with winds coming from the north at 15 miles per hour. Tonight's lows, it'll be 26 in Columbia, 26 in Murfreesboro, actually 22 in Jackson, and 35 in Lawrenceburg. So it's the 20s, 30s mix, but it's still cold, so make sure you take a jacket and an umbrella to be prepared for anything. All right, for tomorrow's highs, 32 degrees, winds gusting from the north at 19 miles per hour, and 20% chance of rain. So tomorrow, I know a lot of us are heading home for the Thanksgiving holiday. There's not really that high of a chance for rain, but it's still a slight chance. So, just be prepared and get an umbrella just in case. For tomorrow's highs, well, we do have a little snow accumulation in some areas. 42 in Columbia, 33 in Lawrenceburg, 31 in Waverly, and 31 in Clarksville. I know I have a lot of friends who are heading to Clarksville, so make sure you take that jacket. As I've said, you might want to take an umbrella just in case if you have to pass through in order to get there. All right, now for our favorite 5-day forecast. Tuesday, 40 degrees, low of 26. As I said, there will be, snow accumulation today, so just be prepared. Wednesday, that snow and rain accumulation does go down. 32 degrees is the high and 18 degrees is the low. There is going to be a high wind chill factor, so as I said, make sure to take your jackets. Thursday, Turkey Day, that's going to be our favorite day of the week. We're all looking to get stuffed. Luckily, there is an increase in temperature, so you'll still need a jacket even though it's only going to be 42 degrees, but it will be a little warmer than previously during the week, as in today. 23 will be the low. So let's look at Friday and Saturday. The sun is going to start popping out, on Friday, and the high is 50. So there is a bigger increase, but 50 degrees is still pretty cold, people, so make sure you get that windbreaker before you exit the house. 26 is going to be the low. Saturday, MTSU has a football game, so if you're in the area, make sure to come by and support. The high will be 53, so, that's still pretty good football weather. We all know what to expect, during this time of the season. It's pretty cold. Make sure you have your earmuffs, your gloves, and a jacket, and come prepared. So make sure you all come out and support, and I hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Janae. A San Antonio woman says she was raped by a police officer. The officer was arrested but is now out on bond. CNN's Katrina Weber has more on the story.
I hurt inside. I have to deal with this every day.
It's an experience this woman can't forget. An attack allegedly by someone hired to protect and serve.
Every time I see a police officer, I shake. Even talk about it, I shake.
While she wanted to hide her face, she was determined to open up about the arrest of 40-year-old San Antonio police officer Jackie Neal. The woman says the 11-year veteran raped her while on duty on the south side around 2 a.m. Friday. The arrest affidavit shows she told detectives Neal fondled her, then handcuffed and had sex with her after a traffic stop on Betty Street. What makes it even worse, she says, is she's 4 months pregnant.
It was ugly. I don't want no one to have to ever go through it and get put, especially someone young like me.
After Neal's arrest Saturday, Police Chief William McManus told reporters the officer's patrol car GPS shows he spent 18 minutes at that site. He says another woman made a similar claim against Neal in the past, but didn't follow through. Records show Neal spent less than 30 minutes here at the Bexar County Jail. He was released Saturday morning after posting a $20,000 bond. The alleged victim says she is worried about what might happen now that he's back on the street.
He warned me. He told me that if I did tell anybody, he would look for me because he has my address.
But she says in spite of the threat, she spoke out and is waiting anxiously to see what the outcome will be. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Police Chief William McManus tells reporters that his officers will treat this matter with the highest priority.
Thanksgiving is only a few days away, and so is Black Friday, but some stores have already started their big sales.
Friday with their pre-Black Friday sale, they match deals from Target and Toys R Us. For shoppers trying to catch a bargain, Black Friday is great.
I feel like it's one of the greatest days of the week, of the entire year, actually. You got great deals on all the latest systems, sports games, fighting games and all that. So that's the main reason I go out for Black Friday.
But for the people who work in retail, it's a different story.
Black Friday has its pros and cons, but at the same time, you're helping out the customer, and it's just making them happy at the same time. It's around Christmas time, so.
Stores selling electronics can expect to see a lot of green as there are 2 items everyone wants to get their hands on.
The items everybody I know is going for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, to be honest. 'Cause, you know, they're new, they're coming out, you know.
Get the PS4, forget the Xbox. It's all about PlayStation up in here, so the PS4 is definitely going to be the system to get, and also look out to get that Madden 25, 2K14, as well as Call of Duty.
The official Black Friday is November 29th, but you don't have to go to a store to get great deals. Sites like Amazon, Best Buy, and Target will all have sales online. Prefer to shop online? Cyber Monday will be happening next week, but Monday is not the only day you can shop.
Last year, the days Cyber Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday were all over $1 billion online.
This holiday, sales have been predicted to have a 3.9% increase.
Though it's Black Friday, stores such as Best Buy and Walmart will be starting their sales Thanksgiving evening at 6 p.m.
University of Tennessee honored its most decorated coach over the weekend. Pat Summitt will always be part of the University of Tennessee's legacy, so will her statue. Here you see the 9-foot, 500-pound sculpture being unveiled earlier Friday. Summitt collected nearly 1,100 wins in her 38 seasons as women's basketball coach. She stepped down in 2012 shortly after being diagnosed with early onset dementia. 600 donors helped provide funds for the statue. Now you know, Parrish, MTSU hosted the women's volleyball tournament this past weekend.
Yeah, they did, and sadly, we lost.
It was a sad weekend. Kaylee Todd has more on sports for us right now.
Well, guys, it's not entirely sad. We did host it for the first time, which is really, really cool. The Memorial Gym was packed this weekend as Middle Tennessee Volleyball hosted the first Conference USA Championship tournament in history. Facing off against the Florida International Blue Raiders, came out hopeful only to have their hopes dashed by the Golden Panthers. MTSU came into the tournament strongly with 17 wins and 12 losses, even winning their first set 25-18. The Blue Raiders can thank sophomore Chelsea Ross for 18 kills and 13 digs that carried them much of the way through the game, and boom, that was awesome. Unfortunately for MTSU, the Panthers pulled ahead and closed the door on the final kill, ending the game 14-11. The Titans finally got a break from a not-so-stellar season with a win over Oakland Raiders. Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Titans clung to playoff hopes as they faced the Raiders. In the third quarter, with Oakland up 9-6 without a touchdown scored in the game, Fitzpatrick hits Justin Hunter. Hunter fakes out 2 Raiders and takes off for a 54-yard dash. Yeah. That doesn't happen much for the Titans. In the fourth quarter, with Tennessee up 16-12, the Raiders are feeling the pressure. Matt McGloin goes deep, and it's caught by Marcel Reese. And with 15 seconds remaining, Fitzpatrick gets it to Kendall Wright, who dives in for another touchdown. Both of these teams have had kind of a strange season, but the Titans go ahead and dive in for that last touchdown, celebrating even more. And surprise, they win. All right, and while the Titans had some luck over the weekend, it looks like Bulls guard Derrick Rose wasn't very lucky at all. In the third quarter of the game between the Bulls and the Trailblazers in Portland, a pass intended for Bulls star guard Derrick Rose is intercepted by Nicholas Batum. As Rose turns to make a play on the ball, he takes an awkward step and appears to injure his right knee. Rose would limp up the court trailing the play and exit the game, never to return. Rose missed all of the 2012-2013 season with a severe injury to his left knee. Major bummer. Thank you guys so much. Back to you.
Thank you, Kaylee. One of Earth's many spectacles occurred in Indonesia yesterday. Well, that's our News 3 report. I'm Parrish Hodges.
And I'm Rebecca Gatewood.